Alright, MrSotko here, and welcome back to another Starcraft 2 replay cast. Today it's a 1v1 on Prion Terraces between our blue Protoss player Showtime and up top our red Zerg player Nerchio. And we are going to speed this on up to about the 2-minute mark of the game. Otherwise we're just going to be watching buildings be created all over the place. And that's usually never all that fun. Overlord's going across the map, scouting out the enemy. And it's either Prion Terraces or Prion Terraces, whichever way you want to call it. You get the point, and I'm going with Prion. You can go with Prion if you'd like. And tons of drones moving on out to the gold minerals. And so skipping his natural there and just going right for the gold minerals because they are very, very close on this map, so why not? Meanwhile, the Protoss taking the safe route and on his natural expansion so we can block it off from the Zerg. And now producing one Zealot here at the start, working on that warp gate research. And this is going pretty strong already. It only takes 12, of course, to saturate the gold minerals, and so his income must be pretty high at the moment. And 1,000 to about 800 there. So you'll have a significant advantage, at least in the minerals at first, which will also give him an advantage later on in the expansions and the Vespine as well. He'll be able to get them much faster. And hatchery now going up at the other gold minerals, so just really blasting out these gold minerals. So he's going to have an insane income here very, very soon. And we have some Zerglings moving across the map to scout out and try and get into his opponent's base there, but I don't think it's going to happen. Zealot just standing there, having a good time, holding the line for now. And actually got inside the Overlord here, and I'm going to drop him right in the base. And now moving towards the natural expansion. I'm going to try and get a few probe kills, but here come the Adepts, and decided to cancel that Adept. And now going towards the mineral line, and may get 1 or 2 probes, but doesn't look like that. An overcharged pylon, and Adepts moving on in, and they finish him off. So not too successful there. He did get a lot of scouting off, except I think these Stargates were made after he was destroyed there, after he got out of the way, so he probably didn't see those. We could actually check, see if he actually saw those or not, and he did not. So he does not know that 2 Stargates are being created right now. So that could definitely throw him off a little bit. And now the expansion is up at the second gold minerals. So we will soon be transferring over lots of drones. And another Overlord here going to dump 8 Zerglings off once again. And you actually don't see this all the time, using an Overlord to drop off the Zerglings like that. Yeah, an overcharged pylon there, going to prevent that Zergling from attacking those drones. And 1 Overlord is going to be lost there. But not too big of a deal. He already has 74 supply there. And oversaturated a little bit at his main. Possibly getting ready to move on over to another expansion there. Or just slight oversaturation to get a little bit more money. And now Phoenixes are moving out across the map here. And 5 Adepts as well. 2 Stalkers and 2 Phoenix, 5 Adepts for the Protoss player, and a good handful of Zerglings there, a baker's dozen of Zerglings, and 7 Roaches. Now Nexus going up at the gold minerals for the Protoss player. And Nerchio hanging out right outside of Showtime's base here, and we've got some Phoenixes that are come over and possibly pick up these Roaches and blast away on them. Take out a few of those right out of combat. And Adepts and Stalkers really don't want any part of that at the moment. Just going to let the Phoenix do the work. Because why not? Free kills without any risk. And now the Queens are here. So I'm probably going to have to back out these Phoenix here in a moment. Probably can kill the Roach. And then he'll just have to bail. Or just stand there for a moment. But he will have to leave out of that area there. The Queens force him away. And as far as income goes, 1,600 to 1,400. So the Protoss did catch up a little bit there. And now an Immortal coming on out to deal with those Roaches on the ground. And Phoenix are at quite the number now. Does have 7 Phoenixes. I'm going to go over to the Queen here, take her out very quickly. Spore Crawler, though, blasting away on the Phoenix, but not going to be enough. And takes out an Overlord there, a couple drones. So lots of damage coming up here. Spore Crawlers being created here, 2 of them, or no, 3 of them. No, that was just a Spire. Never mind on that one, but 2 Spore Crawlers should do the trick. And it's going to force them out of there anyway. Meanwhile, gold minerals here, completely saturated by the Protoss player, way oversaturated. And now the Vespene coming up here. And as far as income, now the Protoss has actually gone ahead a little bit of the Zerg, which is somewhat surprising. As those gold minerals do provide a lot, but they're really not as saturated. You only have 12 generally working on it. 18 over here, so way oversaturated, just getting ready for that natural expansion that's going to come up soon here. And are those Phoenix going to pick up that annoying Queen or not? They let her get off quite a bit of attacks. Now Corruptor's out on the field here and going to take out those Phoenix pretty easy. Forces them away for now. And a Protoss army here getting ready to attack sooner or later. There's a Disruptor out in the field as well. 1 Disruptor and 8 Phoenix there, 7 Stalkers, 5 Adepts, 1 Immortal, 5 Zealots. Kind of like the days of Christmas. 5 Zealots, or Adepts, I don't know, you gotta have a lot more to sing that song, I suppose. It just cuts out a little too early if you just say Adepts. Gotta have way more syllables in there. And drones here getting wrathed up pretty bad there by the Phoenix. And units lost so far. These are quite a bit, 2,200 to only 3,000. So, so far pretty efficient with these Phoenix. Although the Zerg, I suppose, are pretty used to suffering great losses. That's sort of what they do. But even still, that's quite efficient in terms of these Phoenix here. Not losing too many of them. Lost 1 there, may lose another one. 5 health. Gonna get away just in time by the skin of its ass. Now some sentries in the mix there with some shields and force fields, all that good stuff. Hydralisk now out on the fields as well. And quite a bit 7 and quite a bit, or rather 7 in production, 12 on the field there. 19 roaches on the field. Bunch of Corruptors too, and some of those Zerglings are still left. But the Protoss army is getting pretty large here, especially with these Disruptors. It can, as long as you get a really good hit with a Disruptor, it can pretty much be game-changing. And now that the Zerg has the natural, I'd like to assume that it's more. Yeah, indeed. About 1,900 income to about 1,500 or 1,600. So quite a bit more there for the Zerg. Moving on in. And looks like the Protoss is ready to move out here. And does he have an Observer? He doesn't have an Observer, which would be nice to take out all these Creep Tumors. And here comes the Disruptors. The Nova doesn't really get too much. And now Zerglings here surrounding the army. Zealots pushing forward, and the Corruptors have to back out of there. So many overcharged pylons. And trying to push forward here. The Hydralisk doing so much damage, but now there's no more meat for the Hydralisk. Those 2 Novas miss everything. And now there's an Observer. I'm not sure if he had that Observer the whole time. I probably missed it. Good old cloaked Observers. And now the Hydralisks have a little bit more meat, so they can push forward a little bit, but just the Zerglings here. And you still got to watch out for those Disruptors on all those Zerglings. Would be not too devastating, I suppose. They're just Zerglings. That's what they're for. They're meant to die. And soon charge will be finished, and definitely needs that charge. Certainly makes your Zealots quite a bit more effective. And Archon's now being warped in here, or rather morphed in, or merging in, however you want to put it. And 6 Broodlords being created as well. So they will be on the field soon. And I don't know if he has any more of those Phoenix. He only has 7 of them. And not going to do too well against the Broodlord, especially with the Corruptors out on the field as well. But it looks like he only has 1 Corruptor left. Turn them all into Broodlords there. And there comes a Nova and gets 2 Hydralisks. Well, not too bad. I suppose as long as you get something, it's worth something. Now Archon's in the front line. Perfect counter to pretty much any Zerg unit. I'm going to be moving around the other side here, and as soon as this observer is in range, going to be taking out all these creep termers. All that hard work from the Queens lost. All their precious creep. And Broodlord gets taken out instantly there, was way out of position. And Broodlord hitting from way downtown here. And here comes a Nova, and looks like it only got 1 or 2 Zerglings, so they're not too worth it. Some lurkers out on the field here, going to be burying right along through here, preventing the Protoss from getting through there very easily. So he's just going to back out. Seems that he's had his fill of combat, as he did take out an expansion. However, it only had 3 little bits of minerals left. Only one of them only has 9 minerals. So it's not like he took out anything too insanely vital, although he did take out a hatchery. So there is a little bit less larvae production, I suppose. But in terms of economics, he didn't really disrupt much of anything. A couple Novas missed there. Didn't really get anything. And Broodlord still going strong here. Looks like he has 7 out on the field. And is he going to be recreating that hatchery there or not? Or perhaps just... Oh, another place. I actually didn't even see this push here. These Zealots up top in the base. Took out the main hatchery. Or perhaps the hive, rather. And now I'm going to take out the Roach Warren here. And all these buildings bleeding away, as they don't have any creep on them, under them. And now the battle back at the base here. These Archons have nowhere to go, so they just better go forward instead of backward. And overcharged pylon there. Got to back out from that a little bit. Just getting blasted away. Getting all purified up. And now the expansion of Showtime is in trouble here. So sort of an eye for an eye. Losing expansions. Now Showtime's going to lose some expansions. And these Tempests here firing away, blasting away these Hydralisks one at a time. And now the Lurkers trying to run away. But they can take a little bit more hits than those Hydralisks can. But they're doing alright for now. And meanwhile, the Protoss army moving up the left side, or not. Maybe decided to go around a different way. Now the expansion coming up here for the Protoss. And this one was destroyed. Still has enough minerals, I'd say, to remake an expansion up there, no problem. And still 1 Zealot going strong up here. Almost going to take out the infestation pit. And soon here, nope, it didn't take it out, but may get destroyed anyway due to the fact that it doesn't have any creep under it. So there it goes. And it does not look like he has too many expansions on the field. Too many hatcheries, rather. Because he only has 2. So his larva production is very, very low right now. And Zealots here holding out behind the expansion of the Zerg. But they were spotted. And now going to get all jacked up here. So many Lurkers here going to be burying. And quite a bit of damage. And Nerchio has to GG out. He just doesn't have the expansions. He only has the 1 hatchery here and the other hatchery here. The other 2 were taken out. So that means he just doesn't have any larva production to be able to make his army. But I hope you guys enjoyed the replay. And I'll see you guys next time.